Well, good morning. Happy Friday, Fitness Athlete Friday. This is the PT on Ice Daily Show. I want to welcome you all in. Thanks for joining. My name is Mitch Babcock, lead faculty in the Fitness Athlete Division. Hanging out with you in my garage this morning. It's a little chilly. Home base for me is Michigan, so we got teased with some 60-degree days, and then Michigan said, "No, sir, you're right back to the 30s." So it's a balmy 33 degrees. Thank goodness I've got my Ice Physio sweatshirt keeping me comfy and warm, which you can, of course, find at the Ice store if you, too, want to rock some sweet swag like this. I know, it's pretty solid. Well, I just want to say that we got a nice episode in store for you this morning, something that's relevant with the times and something that came across the computer this week and want to share it with you guys. And the title of that episode is 3 Strategies to Maintain Health and Fitness During COVID-19. And we'll get to that in a minute. Before I do want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to all the frontline first responders and the folks in the hospitals primarily that are battling this disease for us. We all know somebody who is probably in that space in one sense or another, whether that be a first responder helping shuttle folks to the hospital, or the folks in the hospital that are doing the toughest job in the world right now, and they're doing it long hours every single day under some pretty extreme circumstances, and with really no projected end of when things for them are going to get back to normal either. So obviously the world is sending their appreciation towards them, and I want to do the same. And if you know somebody in the hospital or a frontline worker, send them a text. It goes a long way just to say thanks. The nice folks in our subdivision put a little sign out. There's a couple nurses in our sub, my girlfriend being one of them, and put a little sign out that just said thanks and wrote their names on it. And that was really cool. My girlfriend came home from 3 days in the hospital, and it was cool to see that. Some people dropped off a little gift basket of some chocolates and stuff. So even just sending a text, you don't have to go so far as to do that, but just send them a text and let them know that, hey, thanks for all the hard work you're doing, because it's the toughest job in the world right now, without a question. So, okay, now that we said that, and you guys are all here and you got your coffee, which I do as well, let's have a look at this episode today. 3 strategies for maintaining health and fitness during COVID-19. And if this title sounds familiar, it's because I stole it. I stole it from the Choose PT article that went around this week with the same title, right? And the message here I thought was a good one, and it got my attention, and had a look at it and discussed some things. And I just thought there were some wins in this article coming from a national organization like the APTA and the Choose PTA campaign, or Choose PT campaign rather. I thought there were some good concepts, some good principles that got shared in that article, and then I thought there were some opportunities. There was some low-hanging fruit that was just left. It was like, boy, there was more to be desired there, you know? So I wanted to address some of those things and maybe share some more actionable type things that you can go along with what this article was trying to accomplish. So if you didn't see the article, I could probably, if you're on Facebook, I could probably get fancy and share my screen. Ooh, install system audio. I don't know what that's all about. But you guys should be able to see my screen if you're on Facebook right now. But that's just the Choose PTA article that I'm quoting today. Again, 3 ways of maintaining social distancing, or maintaining health and fitness during the social distancing of COVID-19. Now, let's talk about a couple things. One, the message of this article was awesome because it was primarily focused on staying active. And that was the big part of the opening monologue there in the article was like, hey, like you've got to stay moving, you got to stay active. What can you do? We understand that gyms are probably closed. You're probably limited on equipment. What can you do to stay active? Because that is such a priority, and it is, right? Like if health and fitness is not your forte, if it's not the thing that you do regularly, then it's probably the first thing that's going to fall to the wayside once your gym closes and your support structure kind of falls from that, right? Like, so having that commonality, that saying, hey, we've got to prioritize that in some way or another. Walking, jogging, can you do some stuff in your house? Can you take the stairs more? Like, just pushing that message is very, very important. And I think us as leaders in our respective communities, as health and fitness professionals, we need to be saying that. We need to be screaming that. Like, it needs to be regular, daily, consistent. Like, what are you doing to stay active? Putting out a video of a workout, posting something, a challenge to do at home. What can get people off the couch? Because the desire to just get sucked into that thing is very strong right now with people in quarantine and sitting at home, right? So really like the message of the Choose PT article saying, like, let's get people active and keep them active. So I like that. The other thing that I really liked in the article too was a discussion and even identifying and bringing up intensity. Like the word intensity, and then like described in a couple different formats, was brought up in the article. Like choose an intensity that's right for you and matches your current abilities. And I thought that was appropriate. Like that's what we need to be talking about. That's what we need to be focusing on, especially in our treatment sessions as well. Is the intensity of which I'm having you work desirable enough to match an adaptation that I'm looking to achieve? And if what I'm trying to achieve is health and fitness, if I'm trying to push the needle on health and fitness, intensity without question has to be part of that discussion, right? So I like that they identified that they spoke to that and said, hey, intensity is part of the equation. Choose an intensity that matches your current abilities. They kind of left it open-ended a little bit because they didn't want to go down the rabbit hole of that, but they did give some characteristics like pick a pace where you're breathing hard, right? Perfect, right? Because how do I know what intensity they're looking for? Well, if I get a descriptor like that, if I get a variable like that, like your respiratory rate, choose an intensity level where I'm breathing hard. Okay, like I can go find out a pace for me at home that gets me to a point where I'm huffing and puffing a little bit, and then I know like, okay, this is probably what they were talking about with the intensity thing. I honestly didn't know until they gave me that descriptor there. So I really like that they started to define intensity a little bit on a national scale when we're talking to physical therapists of saying, hey, intensity is a component. We need to be looking at that. And that's something you're going to continue to hear, especially from us. We've been screaming it for a long time of pushing the intensity. You're going to continue to hear that in dialogue in professional realms and discussions. And I'm glad to see that it was in this article as well. And then they outlined 3 strategies for doing exactly that. And remember, the article is titled Maintaining Health and Fitness. The 3 strategies they outlined were, again, keep moving, stretching regularly, and then daily strengthening, right? So I liked where they went with that. Some relatively generic stuff that people are familiar with. Right? Like, okay, yeah, keep moving. They give you a couple parameters there. They say, hey, 30 minutes a day, again, a pace that you're breathing hard, right? So check that one off the box. They say some daily stretching to maintain your flexibility, not get tight from doing too much sitting or something. Get off the couch and get moving. And then they outline a 30-minute stretching routine. And then they say strengthening, and they say don't want to lose your strength, you want to maintain your strength, and maybe you're not really progressing strength right now, you don't have the resources, you don't have the external load that you need, but maybe at least you're maintaining strength. And then under that strength umbrella, they give kind of like a beginner, intermediate, and advanced level home strengthening program, right? So I think the message behind this article was great. The intent and the resources they compiled together were good. I think as a consumer, if you're reading this, and not as a physical therapist, if you're reading this as a patient, as a general population folk, that you see this article get shared on your Facebook or something, and you open these up, that I think it leaves you a bit hungry for something more actionable, right? And this is where I'm going to say, hey, let's take it up a level, right? If we're going to promote this to our communities, add on top a couple ways that they can actually do that. Like, here's a couple workouts that you can actually get started on. Here's something that I want you to do. Here's a movement that I want you to try. Making something more actionable other than these generalized parameters will give people a little carrot. Like, hey, go try this workout. It fits in what we're talking about. It fits in the realm of getting moving, breathing hard, using intensity, maintaining strength. But I've outlined exactly what it looks like for you, and now I want you to go try your hand at it. That's something that's going to get somebody off the couch and say, you know, that workout at the local PT clinic we usually do that posted today kind of looks fun. I kind of want to try that today, and we've got all the stuff to be able to do it. I'm going to go ahead and try it, right? And that's how we actually lead from the front, as we hear us say all the time, like, be about it, lead from the front. We put out something, not just generalized parameters, but we put out something actionable. Put out something that, hey, I want you to try this as well. I'm trying it. It's getting me moving. I want you to get moving as well. And this is what I want from you, right? So I'm going to give you a couple of those ideas today. A couple other areas where I thought this article could have improved. And there's no arguing, I guess, the component of flexibility, right, is one of the 10 factors of which makes fitness, right? We know that individuals need to be mobile. I think in the lens of, during quarantine, during shutdown, is spending 30 minutes on stretching and flexibility per day really the message that we want people knowing when our goal is to maintain health and fitness? I think there's probably some other things there that if we're really going to grab somebody's attention and say, hey, can you give health and fitness an hour of your quarantine day? Like, can you devote 60 minutes towards getting moving and getting active and getting healthier each day that you're stuck at home. And if people are chunking out an hour, whether that's in the morning right when they wake up, if it's in the middle of their day, if it's at night when they've worked from home or whatever it is, if we're asking them for an hour, is making them do a 30-minute home stretching routine where they're laying on their back stretching their hamstrings really the best use of their time and our attention with them. Because I would argue that we can get some other things accomplished as well, right? We could spend more time in the aerobic capacity component. We could spend more time in the home strengthening component. And we could spend time talking about lifestyle factors and modifications to make while you have the extra time at home when it comes to nutrition or sleep or hydration or these other components. And certainly not saying flexibility is not one of those. Is it just the biggest use of our time, especially when we're talking about that much time that we're asking for folks, right? The strengthening program that was put out was a little bit basic. And there's nothing wrong with basic, right? Some folks need some basic home strengthening stuff to get them moving. But I think when we're looking at the generalized population, and even our geriatric population, we listen to Dustin and Christina talk all the time, our geriatric population, getting them off the table and getting them moving and actually building that functional independence with them by using functional-based movements. When you go to the modern management of the older adult course, you won't see as table sideline hip abduction exercises. We're getting that geriatric population up off the table, off the couch, and getting them moving to build their strength. And that's really what we need to be. In general, the message we need to be sharing as a profession is not one of table exercises, bird dogs, sideline hip abduction. It's one of, we are generally invested in your health and fitness. How fit will you let us get you, right? We're going to solve your back pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, whatever you're here for, and then we're going to drive your fitness hard, and that can't be done on the table. It can't be done on the plinth doing bird dogs and hip abductions, right? But what we need to be showing is something higher level, something that actually inspires people to get up off the couch and get moving. Squats, thrusters, presses, burpees, lunges, step-ups, right? Shoulder press, dumbbell snatch. Like showing them options where they can get stronger and do something with some weight that they have in their house that moves the whole body rather than isolates an individual muscle group in attempts to try to maintain strength with that, right? So I think some of the strengthening pieces is really the biggest opportunity that you have as a professional to take this article and say, good start. I like where we're going with this. Let's give our folks in our community something just a little bit more, right? Something a little bit more inspiring that gets them off the couch and gets them moving, right? So I have 3 workouts today. That maybe you can share. Maybe it's just a template like of what I might do, what I might share, and why. Maybe you're inspired to try one of them today. I don't know. If you are, don't blame me. No, seriously, blame me. Tag me in your stuff. I want to know about it. But I got 3 workouts, and depending on what camera you're looking at, this may show up written the correct way. This may show up written backwards. I'm not sure. But don't worry, I will post a picture of them in the comments below so that you can see exactly what we're talking about here today. But what I have is 3 workouts. One of them is a short workout, a 10-minute or less. It's a 10-minute AMRAP. One of them is a moderate-paced 20-minute EMOM, right? And you hear us talk about REMOMs all the time, so I built one out this morning for us with little to no equipment and just getting moving. And then one of them is a running interval-based workout, right? And the reason I picked these is there's 3 different time domains, 10, 20, and 25 to 30 minutes. One of them is just running heavy. One of them is a couplet, 2 movements, one of them with weight, one of them without weight. And then the other one, that EMOM, was more of a circuit, right? And so there's a variety here in how I program these workouts, in both the time domain and what we're asking the individual to do, right? But they're going to feel dramatically different as well, right? And so let me explain. The first workout I have listed out here is a 10-minute AMRAP of 9 dumbbell thrusters and 9 burpees, okay? So let me break that one down a little bit. 10-minute AMRAP, for those that don't know what AMRAP means, AMRAP stands for as many reps or rounds, that R is interchangeable, as many reps as possible. Okay, and so for this workout, you're going to do 9 thrusters immediately into 9 burpees, and that's 1 round. And you'll do as many rounds of that, or reps, as you can on a 10-minute clock, right? And so what we'll advocate for is folks download a clock on their phone. There's a million of them that are free. We like SmartWatt and we like GymNext. Those are 2 apps that you can download that have a lot of preset timers, and you can do custom built timers on your phone and just set your phone in the garage with you and work out. That's what we do out here in my garage gym, is just throw a timer on the ground and start moving. So set a 10-minute clock inside of 10 minutes. And this is intensity regulated, right? This is why I like AMRAPs, is because you're going to do as many rounds as your fitness allows you to do in 10 minutes. We're all working for 10 minutes. The more fit athletes are going to get through more rounds. The less fit, the more deconditioned athletes aren't going to get through as many rounds, but nonetheless, it's still a 10-minute workout and it's self-regulated. I'm going to go as fast as I can go, right? I'm not being drugged into doing more rounds or more reps of this than I really think I am capable of doing. I have a clock that's my parameter, and if I need to rest at some point, I'll rest, right? And this is a nice one to be able to retest, because you can say, okay, the first time I did this workout, 9 and 9, I only got through 4.5 rounds in the 10 minutes. And then the next time I tested it, after doing a bunch of this, I got through 6.5 rounds. That's an observable, measurable, and repeatable change in your fitness that we can track and move forward. So we know that we're moving the needle on someone's health and fitness during COVID, during some little equipment, right? So if you don't know, 9 thrusters. What is a thruster? A thruster is a front squat to press in one movement, right? You'll bring the bar back down if you've got a barbell. For me, I've got dumbbells, right? And this is what I'm getting done with. Front rack the dumbbells, it's a full front squat until you can't see me anymore. I'm standing and I'm pressing all the way overhead, and then I'll bring them right back down and I'll start my next rep. That's a thruster. I love thrusters because I hate thrusters. And if you know thrusters, you know what I mean. But what a full body, full front squat to press overhead, where you're moving a heavy load, a very long distance, the definition of a functional movement, and something that really elevates the heart rate quickly. I did 2 reps and I'm out of breath. Get 7 more to go. When you're done with 9 thrusters, you go into 9 burpees. And 9 burpees, if you're not familiar with burpees, you need to get familiar with burpees, because one of the best at-home ways to drive your fitness with no equipment necessary. Lay on the ground until your chest hits the ground. Get yourself off the ground and jump just high enough that your feet leave the floor and your hands are overhead. That's a burpee. Down, up. Get on the floor, get off the floor. Fall down, stand up. Do it again, right? 9 thrusters and 9 burpees, and you've got a 10-minute clock to see how much you can get through. Intensity regulated by the clock, simple movements. If you don't have dumbbells, you can do a couple hand weights. You can find something. People in our gym have been super creative with what they've done. Sometimes they just loaded up a duffel bag with books and weights, and they're using that duffel bag to do a squat press with, right? There's a lot of different ways to get some external load and move those thrusters. And the burpees require nothing but just stamina, just a will to work, right? So that's workout number 1. Workout number 2 is a 20-minute EMOM. This one's going to look and feel differently. The 10-minute EMOM is meant to be short, sweet, fast, a burner, a gut punch. The 20-minute EMOM is going to be more aerobically based pace, right? Because it's going to be a circuit. And here's how I've broken down this EMOM. If you can see, so I got 2 cameras, I'm sorry. So I'm trying to get this in frame for both of you guys. A 20-minute EMOM, and I'm going to do 4 different movements. So minute 1, I'm doing movement 1. Minute 2, we do movement 2. Minute 3, movement 3. Minute 4, movement 4. And then we start back over again, which, if you're good at math, 4 movements, 20 minutes, that's 5 rounds essentially of all of this in the circuit, right? So minute 1, where are we at? Here we are. Minute 1, you're going to do step-ups. If you've got a box, which I have a box in my gym, right? Sorry if you're on Instagram, you can see that. Got a box. I'm going to do step-ups on my box, right? 10 of them. Is that what I wrote? Yeah, 10 of them in a minute, but try to make them weighted if you can, right? So if I've got dumbbells, I'm going to hold on to the dumbbells, maybe at my shoulder, maybe at my sides, and I'm going to do weighted step-ups, 10 weighted step-ups in minute 1. When I finish, I rest. I rest until minute 2 starts again. So I've got a little built-in rest each minute. Minute 2, push-ups. I wrote 15. Try to get 15 done in a minute. That might be a big number, which means that you can easily scale that down to 10, 7, 8, whatever you're able to do inside of a minute. Ideally, you're working for 30 to 40 seconds, and you're giving yourself about 20 seconds to get ready for the next station. So see what you can do when it comes to push-ups on minute 2. Minute 3 are squats. These are air squats, no external weight. You don't have to hold anything, just squat. Hip crease below your knee and stand up. A full squat, a full stand, and lock out at the top. Do 15 squats. If you're super fit, you can move that to 20 squats in the minute. If you need to back it down, back it down to 10. And last, minute 4 is going to be sit-ups. No equipment needed, but let's work the midline a little bit. We traditionally butterfly our feet, which means we take the soles of our feet and we touch them together, right? So we'll butterfly our feet, we'll touch the ground, and we'll touch our toes when we complete the sit-up, right? Minute 1, you're doing movement 1. Minute 2, you're doing movement 2, and you're moving through that circuit for 20 minutes. This keeps you going. It keeps you breathing hard. It's going to work your legs by doing the step-ups and the squats. It's going to work your midline by doing the sit-ups, and you're just going to work your arms by doing some push-ups. And by the time this is done, you're going to accumulate a good amount of volume inside of 20 minutes, which also checks the box for the Choose PT article talking about 30 minutes of exercise a day, right? So this is going to get you there. Okay. Now the last one I have is running intervals. Okay. And rather than just telling someone go for a 30-minute jog, like I don't even want to do that, right? Like I don't want to do a 30-minute jog. I did one the other day, but it was the first one I've done, right? What you can tell someone is say, hey, you don't have equipment, but it's a sunshine day. Let's go outside. Let's get some sun. Let's get some fresh air, and let's do a little bit of jogging. But rather than just like saying like run until you can't anymore, right? Set somebody up for success by saying what you're going to do is try to jog for 3 straight minutes, and then you're going to walk for 2 minutes, right? Now, I love this because this is highly variable based on where somebody's at, which means super fit, you can go run for 4, walk for 1. Right? Or you can, maybe it's saying like, let's jog for 2 and walk for 2, like a 1-to-1 work to rest ratio, right? Maybe someone's having a hard time jogging for 2 straight minutes. Set them up for success. Give them a timeline that you know they can hit. It's going to be uncomfortable for them, that you know that they can make it the 2 or the 3 or the 4 minutes, and then give them a short little rest to allow them to walk, which means they hit their goal in their head. Yes, I made it to the 3-minute mark. Now I get 2 minutes to walk, and then I'm going to achieve my goal again. It's building success upon itself. 3 minutes and then walk, 3 minutes and then walk, 3 minutes and then walk. And so you can change those parameters and you can put that out to your people. Say, hey, 3 minutes on, 2 minutes off. Let's try to repeat that 5 times. Go around your block, maybe up and down your country road, maybe around your cul-de-sac in your subdivision, whatever it is. But we're going to try to repeat that 5 times, and you can use a watch, you can use your phone, but we're going for 3, and we're going to walk for 2. And if you're fitter than that, you can go for 4 and walk for 1, right? And give someone parameters that set themselves up for success. And by the way, that's going to total right about 25 to 30 minutes, all said and done. They're going to get fitter. They're going to be feeling on top of the world for how much they ran and surprised themselves. And they're going to want to repeat that next week to see how much better they're doing, right? Those are 3 actionable workouts that are quick, are easy to program and to throw out there to your folks in your community. What the community needs right now is leadership, right? They need someone to say, hey, I'm in my garage too. I've got little equipment too. They need someone to lead from the front and say, we're all in this together. Here's some stuff that you can do that I'm doing that gets you starting, gets you moving to actually maintain your health and fitness during this quarantine attack, right? And uncertain times, people need some leadership. They need someone to look to and to take something from and get inspiration from. And this is a great opportunity for us to really rebrand ourselves in this space, saying, hey, this goes beyond just stretching your hamstrings and doing sideline hip abduction at home. This goes into maintaining your health and wellness, and I'm investing in doing that. And so here's a couple tips that I have for you. It's a great opportunity if you look at it that way, right? A great opportunity to help folks and steer them in the right direction. I've talked way too long, more than 15 minutes, but let's be honest, what the heck else do we have to do? I appreciate you guys being on. It's been a while. Looking forward to getting back to some normalcy. Looking forward to traveling again, being able to see very cool towns and cities and being able to meet very cool folks like yourselves out on the road. We're all looking forward to that. You guys are in our thoughts, in our prayers, with whatever hardships you're going through, whether that be job loss, hopefully temporarily, and we hope that you're able to find the good in this time, being able to spend more time with family, being able to make memories that we otherwise didn't have time to do. So this hopefully will never happen again. This moment in time where it's kind of a pause button on the world may never happen again, right? So be sure that you're doing things to either better yourself or make memories with those that you love, and make some memories that you'll be able to look back a long time from now and say, you know what? That quarantine was actually something good for our family. So I wish you all the best. Reach out if I can be of help when it comes to health and fitness stuff. And if you're following my personal stuff, I'm writing stuff on my garage wall. I'm writing workouts all the time up here and sharing those. So I don't know, chicken scratch and pencil, but it's something, right? It's something to get you going. So if you want me to share this with you, I'd be happy to do that. Guys, thank you for joining me on Fitness Athlete Friday. On behalf of the Institute of Clinical Excellence, we wish you a great weekend, and we'll see you back here Monday morning. Actually, I think I'm doing Q&A Monday. I am. What a great segue. I'm back on Monday morning for Q&A. So if you've got questions, what a great time. Hit them up on Monday. All right, I'm out of here. See ya. Hey, thanks for tuning in to the PT on Ice Daily Show. If you enjoyed this content, head on over to iTunes and leave us a review. And be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at the Institute of Clinical Excellence. If you're interested in getting plugged into more ICE content on a weekly basis while earning CEUs from home, check out our virtual ICE online mentorship program at ptonice.com. While you're there, sign up for our Hump Day Hustling newsletter for a free email every Wednesday morning with our top 5 research articles and social media posts that we think are worth reading. Head over to ptonice.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to sign up.